No, seriously, it's ridiculous. It's the thought that if you have a certain skin color, and therefore must have certain mannerisms or certain beliefs or be down for some cause, is racist. That's a the what is racist? Racism is an attribution of certain is attributing certain traits to a race that is wholly unrelated to their skin color. For example, beliefs are unrelated to your skin color. You know what's related to skin color? Skin color. That's it. Melatonin levels. That's it. If you're black, you can have any beliefs you want. If you decide when you're black that you don't like President Obama, that doesn't make you white. That makes you a black guy who doesn't like Obama. That's it. That's called individualism. That's what we conservatives believe. We're not racists who think that, unlike the racists who do believe that if you're black, you have to be, true black. You have to be down for the cause. You can't be a cornball brother. Otherwise, you're an Oreo. That's bullshit. That's bullcrap of the highest order. That is a truly racist concept. To believe that if you're black, you have to have some sort of pattern of voting, that you have to vote Democrat, that you have to vote in any specific way other than how you feel like based on the information that you have according to your own choices as an individual being.
Be careful, John. Be careful, because if you say all these things, and if you say that
I've been called a racist for saying that.
Yeah, I know, and I've been called paternalistic, which is, according to this person, the ugly brother of white supremacism, because I am telling black people how they should act by saying that they don't have to believe these set of things in order to be authentically black. I've been called a white supremacist for this.
It's ridiculous. Those people need to be knocked down off their high horses so fast. Not physically, just intellectually. They need to be served. Because that's unacceptable. Like that stuff is what feeds this victim, like this static, non-moving victimhood ideal. And I'm not saying that every black person has it. There's a lot, and I'm certainly saying there are a lot of white people who have it. It's idiotic. Why can't we just say, hey, you're X color. That doesn't matter. You have your own ideas, and I will treat you according to your ideas and your behavior like a normal, member of the human freaking race. And that's how you'll be judged. Based on your behavior. Based on your life choices. That's what we go for.
You white supremacist.
Oh my God.
You right-wing, No,
I'll tell you, I'm about to say something really, like, if there aren't going to be people claiming that I'm racist for all the things I've said, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be really kind of screwed up, and I wish I didn't have to say it.
Here we go. At
this point, I'm actually kind of glad that I'm not black, and not for this whole white privilege stuff. I'm sure I've experienced it, experiencing privilege because I'm white. I whatever. This is why. If I'm white and I'm conservative, the most I have to worry about is people calling me racist. That's it. If I'm black and I'm conservative, with the fact that like 95% of the black Americans voted for Obama, the fact that they vote overwhelmingly for Obama, and there's this whole thing of like, if you're black, you got to be down for the cause. You got to be really, you have to be authentically black. All this crap. If I'm a black conservative, I have to deal with, and I'm open about my opinion, and I defend myself. I have to worry about being called an Oreo, the N-word, a house Negro, a traitor to the cause, an Uncle Tom, like all these racist slurs. And I have to be told, and I get to be told that every other person my color hates me, and that I'm not really, like, not only is there's this black this black identity that I have to mold to, but that I'm not a part of it, and that I'm being rejected from it, and that I'm not really whatever color my skin is. I don't have to worry about that if I'm white. If I'm black, I will experience this every day, and I know this because I've watched other black conservatives deal with this on a daily basis. On a daily basis. If you go on Twitter, look for any person that is outspoken about their beliefs and also conservative. Any black person. And look at the comments in response to them. They're the most vitriolic and hateful comments I have ever seen. I haven't, and I'm outspoken on Twitter. I don't receive that kind of hatred. And the only defining factor between these people receiving these hate-filled, vitriolic, racist slurs and these implications about them not being down and not being like down for the cause and not being really black or not really being their skin color. The only difference between them and me is the fact that I'm white and they're black. And I think that's pathetic and shameful.
Yeah, Latinos aren't safe anymore either. I don't know if you're noticing. That's starting to become a thing now.
Is it really?
Yeah, it kind of started a little while back. I noticed it when, I don't know if you remember Harry Reid. I don't know how any Latino person can consider themselves a Republican. That's kind of when you start to notice the ball rolling. Now, I will say this. Blacks have often said that they have it worse in this country, and you can go back and forth on this one. In this case, there is one thing. Black conservatives do tend to have it a little worse than Latino conservatives for one reason.
Oh.
I don't know if you noticed, but there is no Latino Al Sharpton. There is no Latino Jesse Jackson. It doesn't exist. They aren't out there.
All right.
But black community, for some reason, they have the Jesse Jackson, they have the Al Sharpton, the people speaking for the entire race.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is an organized attempt. So when Al Sharpton, who is kind of promoted as the voice of the oppressed black man, Jesse Jackson, and people are saying the civil rights leaders,
right?
Even though the civil rights leaders are Republicans, but anyway, when they sick their other civil rights activists on black conservatives, it does get worse because they're actually marching orders toward getting people like Alfonso Rachel. They are under orders to get them. So in this respect, I will say that yes, they do in fact have it worse because there's a little bit of more organization towards hating people like Kevin Jackson. I don't know if you ever heard Kevin Jackson of Black Sphere. You ever heard any of his stuff?
No.
Actually, it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna borrow one of the stories he tells. He likes to tell the story of how he likes to speak to all black audiences, and usually before he goes on stage, he's told not to identify himself, as a conservative. And he says, "No, I want you to introduce me as a conservative." And one of the more recent, meetings, an all-black audience, he, of course, was introduced as a black conservative. He walked on the stage and immediately boos from the entire audience. Says, "Boo, boo, boo." And he went up and he grabs the mic and said, "Yeah, boo, boo. I want your kids to be CEOs. Boo, boo. I don't want your daughter's future to involve a Paul. Boo. I want safe neighborhoods. Boo. I don't think there should even be such thing as a black neighborhood or a white neighborhood. Boo." They stopped booing.
I am instantly a fan of this man.
Yeah, he also, he does fun things like he wrote out a letter, "Dear white people, as a black man and, duly representative of the black sphere, I hereby pardon all white people for any sins of your ancestors concerning slavery. You are free, you do not owe us anything." And he signed it, Kevin Jackson. Recently he's doing it. The not gay videos, like where he's coming out of the closet. At first people, didn't know. He didn't know. My son could have just been my nephew, but one day I said I love you to my wife, and I slipped up. I kissed her goodbye, and I live in a gay neighborhood, and so it's tough for me coming out as not gay. I mean, I'll never, be able to go on The View, and I'll never be invited, on the Lifetime network.
Seriously, if you are gay and you come out today, Like, basically everyone goes, oh my gosh, you're amazing. Like, I'm sorry, I no longer, for whatever respect I had for people who came out and said they were gay, I no longer have any respect for, like right now, it's just, I don't care. Because if you come out, like, there's not really any negative, like, there might be some negative blowback, but I mean, you're going to get a lot of support. Now, come out as gay in, like, the 1960s, then you have some balls. Or earlier in the 1920s, then you have ginormous balls.
Well, you heard about what happened at Houghton shortly after you left, right?
You mean College X?
Yeah. See, what happened was, I've learned this now. There's one thing you can do in society today that will get you the same hatred you would have gotten back then, and loads more than just coming out gay. What a kid did in chapel, he stood up and he said, for the past few years, I have been struggling, viciously struggling, desperately struggling with homosexuality. I'm here, standing before you today, to tell you, I've won that fight. I'm finally free. You want to talk attacks from all sides. He was accused of being a traitor to his sexual orientation. I didn't think that was a thing.
Wait. So he's finally free and straight.
Yeah, he said, I've been struggling with this for a while, but you know what? I'm done. Now, will he necessarily date girls? Don't know. Remains to be seen. I mean, I think he has a girlfriend now, but basically said that he is no longer bound by his homosexuality. Now,
right,
he's free. It's been tormenting him for a while, but he's finally learned to overcome it.
Okay.
And so he says that, hey, whatever happens, I want to live a life that honors Christ, and I believe this to be a step, in order to do so. And he was attacked, viciously attacked.
By leaders or just, like, students?
By students, mostly. Teachers largely didn't comment on it from what I saw, although...
Well, I don't think it would have been professional to do so.
Yeah, but even people who weren't gay say, how dare you suggest that homosexuality is wrong, that you should have to overcome it? And how dare you be a traitor to your sexual orientation? And the people who were either gay or bi, they said, you betrayed us today. And he was harassed, horribly harassed. He ended up leaving.
Oh my gosh, dude, that is a shame. That is, you know what? Okay, look, let's say this. Regardless of what you believe about homosexuality, I think if someone decides, like I'm struggling with homosexuality, but I desire to be straight, I think you should honor that. Like that should be like, you should be like, you know what? You have a choice. You have a choice about what you want to do. Go for it.
I think just the fact that he came out, to tell people, because there were some rumors and people like, oh, we think you're gay, and before it was just kind of fun, and then he said, hey, look, guys, I hear you've been talking about it, you've been worried about it. It's okay. I'm fine now. I've decided that I don't really want that, and so, hey, I perceive this to be, the best way I can live my life, and so this is what I'm going to do.
Now, see, what I don't get... See, the thing that I never really understood is the whole coming out thing in the first part. Like, at the beginning, I could understand it in the sense that, like, you come out as you're gay, kind of like throw it in the face of society so you can say, you know what, no, I think being gay is okay. At this point, it's pretty much accepted by all society. So at this point, people coming out as being gay and people like, being like, oh, hooray, is really just people patting themselves on the back for being morally superior. All it is.
I always thought that the coming out part was like if you come out to your wife. Because I'll admit, that still takes...
Oh my god, dude. That would suck. Honestly, though, okay, let me also say this, though. If that happens, I think I'm a fan of people being really communicative and having really healthy relationships with their spouses. So I think if you're having issues with that, you should be biting the bullet and telling your wife that you're having these issues. That way, if you ever come to the point where you're like, no, I think I'm gay, regardless of whether or not your wife, likes it or is supportive of you, at least you're not just like, flipping her world upside down and being like, oh, I thought he loved me the whole time and the past 5 years have been a lie because he's been struggling and he never told me and I thought he loved me.
Yeah.
That's traumatic to the wife. Why? That's one of the reasons why it's like difficult to do.
Something you might want to bring up ahead of time, possibly. But regardless, if it happens, that I get. But if you're in high school and you're just coming out because why would you come out in high school unless you intend to partake in that lifestyle? I don't know, but
maybe like the head jock on the football team is really hot, and you were hoping.
I tend to think that high school is not a good time to announce that you're gay, just because I've realized that kids are looking for excuses to torture each other, and being gay is an easy target.
High school is a place that does have a big issue with conformity and not necessarily embracing individual opinion. So on that, I will agree. I mean, I think it takes a particularly strong individual, a very strong individual, to be able to claim that in high school. But on the same half, I think if you do that in high school, regardless of whether or not you think you'll be accepted, I think that's kind of asking for trouble. Like especially if you know you won't be accepted, I think that is asking for trouble.
A little bit.
I guess it depends on what your objectives are, to put it that way.
Yeah.
That was very constructive, Josh. I like that. Lovely.
That was the most articulate I've been all evening.
Oh, lovely. Well, we're at like an hour 50 now. We didn't even have a break. Take that, Rush Limbaugh. We don't need your commercial breaks. And now, a commercial from Tampax. That's an inside joke. You don't know if you're listening. If you're still listening, you don't know what's going on now. But I just say Tampax every once in a while, and Josh Barnes bursts out laughing. It is not because he just learned what a period is. I promise you.
That was last week.
He called me and was like, John, there's blood everywhere. There's blood everywhere. I don't get it.
John was getting worried. He's like, hey, should I call the cops or something? Admittedly, that is actually how it happened. Embarrassing story, but...
Really?
Just,
wait, what?
A girl's tampon failed in class, and I was like, holy crap, what's going on? There's blood all down her pants.
Oh my gosh. Do you realize how embarrassing that had to be for her, though?
I didn't know. If I had known, I wouldn't have said a thing. But
no, you didn't. You didn't, Josh.
I said, hey, are you okay? She's like, I'm fine. Oh.
You didn't go on, did you? Are you sure? Because you're bleeding. Tell me you didn't say that.
Oh, I said, like, yeah, I just saw blood running down. He was just like, hey, what's going on?
Oh, my God.
If I had known the source of the blood, I wouldn't have said anything.
That's where you, like, really kindly write a note, pass it through, be like, hey, just so you know, you're bleeding at the moment. Let her maintain her dignity.
I didn't say it in front of everyone else, thankfully.
Okay.
That
dude, like, that would be, like, one of those, like, nightmares come true for a girl.
Oh.
That's one thing you don't want to do. No. When it comes to that, be very discreet.
Yeah, now I know. I'm just like, oh boy.
Well, Josh, once a month, all this stuff happens.
I remember, a teacher trying to explain it. It's like, remember when the Bible talks about sin and how we're unclean before the Lord? Once a month. That about sums it up. Don't get too close. You don't want to know.
I'm just saying, when I get married and my wife gets pregnant and has a baby, at the moment the baby is born, I want to be like, release the Kraken! And thus it has been.
It lives.
And then like his name will just be like Jack the Kraken. Like that'll be his nickname. And then people will be like, yo, Jack, what's cracking, man?
They'd be like, shut up.
No, look, he will grow to be a strong, rough boy. And the Kraken will be a name of fear and respect.
Hopefully Kraken.
Or it'll be a girl and I'll be really disappointed. I'll be like, release the Kraken. Oh, shoot.
Hey, once a month she'll be a Kraken. I promise. Don't you worry.
Oh, I was avoiding that joke, Josh.
Because it's your daughter. It's okay. I can make the joke.
And this breath smells like 1,000 rotting fish. Nice one, jerk.
Well, it's a different take on the Song of Solomon passage, admittedly.
No does or twin mountains here. Just
no smell of apples in this cavern, folks.
No, just yeah. The sisters hid her away for good reason.
Like the T-Rex.
We're not allowed to. We can't stop on a period joke. That's. Can we throw in something really quick about how much about like Piers Morgan again?
I'm convinced that if I sat down and talked with the guy, I could get him to like me, and I could probably learn to like him back. But I think one of the main differences between liberals and conservatives, we are willing to yell at each other and get in rhetorical fist fights, and afterwards just have a grand old time.
Here's the thing I don't like about Piers. The one thing that makes me kind of like iffy about your statement about like you could like each other is you watched him with Ben Shapiro. He basically was like, "Oh, you're against gun control. You must like kids being murdered." Like, I'm sorry, like, and it's really clear. Like, he semi takes himself seriously when he says it. Like, it's not like, "Oh, I know I'm being facetious." He takes himself seriously when he says that. Like he says it really seriously.
That's pretty much every wide-eyed freshman I knew in college, though, and so I'm used to it.
I know, but he's not a freshman in college. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's set in his ways. If you're a senior in college and a freshman in college, look. If you're a senior in college and a freshman in college comes up and says something stupid at you, you laugh in their face and walk away. They learn very quickly never to do that again. You can't do the same thing to Piers Morgan. He's too old.
Ben Shapiro did.
No, I'm sorry. Ben Shapiro, he was intelligent. I felt like he didn't necessarily win that. I think Piers, like, he wasn't able to stop Piers Morgan in his tracks, and I'm really disappointed about that.
I actually think he did pretty well. I mean,
I think he did well. He did well. Honestly, the guy who really spanked Piers Morgan, I think, was it Jesse Jackson?
Jesse Jackson?
No, sorry. Who's that ex-Navy SEAL who's being a dick and suing the wife of a dead Navy SEAL? You know who I'm talking about? Jesse Ventura.
Oh, okay.
If you haven't, watched the debate between him and Piers Morgan. Now, here's the thing. Jesse Ventura, I'm going to Google that. I'm going to make sure that I'm referencing the right guy. Because I feel like the wonders of technology, I can look this up and you don't. Well, you can hear me typing.
Ted Nugent was actually pretty good on Piers Morgan.
I think it is Jesse Ventura. He looks a lot better in his pictures than he does in life. Is that him? Yes. Now that he's gotten older, he's started like growing out his hair and back, and it looks really, really bad. But no, he spanked Piers Morgan, and that was despite the fact that his arguments weren't that intelligent. If he, like, his personality is like exactly able to like destroy Piers Morgan, I just wish he wasn't a jerk off. Like, if you're suing the wife of like if you are suing a guy and he dies, and within a month you're pushing for the wife to be sued in place of him, there is like on the level of scumbagginess, you're beyond Piers Morgan now, or you're up there. Like, you're kind of topping the charts.
You're like in Michael Moore territory.
I know. Well, he's not.
You can
he's getting there.
him.
He's getting there. If he was fat and really angry and was blatantly hypocritical by making millions of dollars by doing capitalist ventures
And
such
tweeting
as
out
movies.
false flag hashtags.
Yeah, and being part of the 1% while bashing the 1%. If he did all that like Michael Moore was, I don't want to put him on the same level. He's like underneath. He's like 6 inches underneath. That being said, he spanked Piers Morgan. He got the whole crowd on his side, a Piers Morgan crowd.
Whoa!
Like if you could take Ben Shapiro's knowledge and made it with, I know this is a little weird, and made it with
Children cover
Jesse
your ears.
Ventura's personality, Piers Morgan would not stand a chance. Unfortunately, Jesse Ventura is a little bit of a kook, and Ben Shapiro is a little bit too much of a nice guy. I'll tell you what, being a Navy SEAL definitely gave him. I don't know why he has Wait, he was in wrestling too, though, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's definitely a force to be reckoned with, personality-wise. But unfortunately, there's some stuff he's missing out on. Upstairs. See, and the thing about conservatives is that we rag on our own people.
Well, Democrats will do that after the election season. Don't you worry. They eat their young. And,
No, look, the only reason why they ditched Anthony Weiner is because he dropped to 7% in the polls. He dropped to dead last in the polls after it came out that he was once again doing crap. And even originally when he was doing stuff, it took him a whole year after he said he would stop to actually stop. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, that's why he got ditched. Because Hillary did not want to be associated with a guy like that. That's why she was like, yeah, maybe you should drop out, and I'm not going to talk to you anymore, and bye, Huma. That's why that happened. They don't eat their own unless they're forced to. Why do you think Bill Clinton is still there? Why do you think Ted Kennedy was considered the lion of the Senate, up until his death?
Because the Kennedys are celebrities, not politicians.
Apparently killing a girl, apparently knocking a girl unconscious and leaving her to die by drowning doesn't count for being ousted from your seat.
But they're so glamorous.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what the girl was thinking as she drowned.
Maybe.
Glamorous.
Depends on what drugs he gave her first.
Anyways. By now, I'm sure there's some liberal here going I'm going to post so hard about how I wasted 2 hours of my life and you guys suck and should go die. That's going to happen.
I kind of hope it does.
I will be a little bit disappointed. All right. So, yeah, this has been Conservative Echo Chamber. If you guys just joined in a little bit ago, or if you guys are still listening from the beginning, I'm glad you were here with us. If you want to respond in the comments section, that's cool.
Bring it.
If you want to just think thoughts towards us without actually doing anything, I don't know. I really don't. I have no input because I don't know what you're thinking. Anyway.
I already know what they're thinking. Shut up, racist.
Well, no, there could be conservative. Well, no, there could be conservative people. I think of the two, I think our most likely audience is going to be gamers who like to listen to kind of white noise in the background. In which case they're muttering to themselves yeah, racist while they play Oblivion or shoot people in Black Ops 2. Or alternatively, there's some guy going there this is better than Rush Limbaugh. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think.
Thank you, two guys who said that.
No, and there's 10 more going no, you're not. No, you're not. Sorry. No, sorry. No, you don't have the golden EIB microphone. You're not the same. There's two of you. One man is better than the two of you. How bad do you have to be to have one man defeat you? He's got experience, okay? He's got 30 years. I have 2 hours and 4 minutes plus practice. I should be given a break. Affirmative action for YouTube podcasts.
We need experienced radio welfare.
We'll start you off with 10,000 viewers. But once you hit 11,000 viewers, you lose all viewership.
Unfortunately, Air America doesn't have that many to spare, so...
Oh, burn. I don't know if half the people here know what that is, and that's really sad.
That's telling, though.
All right, we are the Conservative Echo Chamber. Hope you guys have enjoyed your time with us. Come back next week or whenever we release a new one. See you guys. Wait, hold on. Wait for it.
All these sentimental heroes and these consequential angels wanna run it with the devil, gonna live or die.